My name is Jordan Wrights, and today I want to talk about how God will provide. So I'll start off with a verse that I have read recently. It's 1 Nephi 17, verse 3 says, "And thus we see that the commandments of God must be fulfilled. And if it so be that the children of men keep the commandments of God, he doth nourish them and strengthen them and provide means whereby they can accomplish the thing which he has commanded them. Wherefore he did provide means for us while we did sojourn in the wilderness." There's a couple things that I want to discuss in that verse. So it says that if we keep the commandments, that he will nourish us. And I think that that is both physically and spiritually. When we keep the commandments, we are showing him that we care, that we see what he has asked us to do and we want to do it. And this shows to him that we are willing to, we're willing to help ourselves even. And when we do that for ourselves, that he will do the rest. He will nourish us. It also says that he provides a means whereby we can accomplish the things which he commanded us. So when we're trying, God recognizes that a lot of times we will not be able to do what has been asked on our own. But if we try, he promises that he will fill in the gaps. He'll put into place the boards that are missing from the bridge. He'll make it so that we can accomplish what he has asked. And he will provide us while we are on our sojourn. He will provide means for us while we are on our sojourn in the wilderness. There's another quote that I like. It is from April 2024 General Conference, "God's Intent is to Bring You Home." Elder Patrick Kieran. He says, "He did not cast away the woman with the issue of blood. He did not recoil from the leper. He did not reject the woman taken in adultery. He did not refuse the penitent, no matter their sin. And he will not refuse you or those you love when you bring to him your broken hearts and contrite spirits. That is not his intent or his design, nor his plan, purpose, wish, or hope. No, he does not put up roadblocks and barriers. He removes them. He does not keep you out. He welcomes you in. His entire ministry was a living declaration of this intent." God's goal is not to weed out the wicked. God's goal is to help everyone be righteous. God knows that there's an end goal, but there's also end requirements. But he wants all of his children to be with him. Jesus didn't turn people away. He invited people to come to him as long as they were willing to do so. And that's what God does for us. He wants us to come to him, and he will do what he can to help us do that. There's another quote from David A. Bednar in the Tender Mercies of the Lord video. "When words cannot provide the solace we need or express the joy we feel, when it is simply futile to explain that which is unexplainable, when logic and reason cannot yield adequate understanding about the injustices of life, truly we are blessed by the tender mercies of the Lord and made mighty even unto the power of deliverances." That quote, he's saying that he's acknowledging that life is hard. I don't need to tell anybody that. I'm not going to be the first one that's ever said that. But life is incredibly difficult. But when we are blessed by the tender mercies of the Lord, he is always reaching out to us to give to us and to make us mighty. And I'll end with one verse that I've always really loved. 1 Nephi 2, verse 20. It says, "And inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, ye shall prosper. and shall be led to a land of promise, yea, even a land which I have prepared for you, yea, a land which is choice above all other lands. Now, in the setting that this verse takes place, he was referring to an actual land, like an actual physical place. But that's not how I think about it now. I think about it as he will, the land of promise is a life that we will enjoy. It's not going to be a easy life, but it will be a life full of joy. And all we have to do to get there is keep the commandments, and we shall prosper. And again, he's going to come in and he's going to fill in the gaps, because getting this life is not something we can do on our own. We can gain money and riches and stuff like that, but that doesn't bring joy. And I believe that as we learn to rely on the Lord, but also to do what the Lord has asked, that we will be blessed for those efforts. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.